Thanks to Bungie's live reveal, we've gotten some massive news about the future of Destiny. The first major piece of news that really kicks off the rest of the news is that Destiny 3 is officially not in the works, and instead, Bungie will be focusing all their efforts on Destiny 2 expansions. Bungie went ahead and announced 3 fall DLCs in their livestream, which was honestly very surprising. Beyond Light in 2020, The Witch Queen in 2021, and Lightfall in 2022. I think with this announcement of 3 major expansions, it's Bungie trying to tell us that they are fully committed to this game and that they are all in on Destiny. They want to continue with the foundation of Destiny 2 rather than start from scratch with a Destiny 3. Of these 3 expansions, of course, we know most about this year's fall expansion, Beyond Light. Beyond Light does look to be full of plenty of content, so let's talk about what we should expect. The first thing is the story and why we are going to Europa. Well, according to Bungie's site, the story setup is as follows. A new power is born out of the ancient pyramid ship above Europa's frozen frontier, and a dark empire has risen beneath. United under the banner of fallen Kel of darkness, Aramis. Join your fellow guardians and bring down the empire at any cost, even if it means wielding the darkness itself. This is extremely intriguing to me personally, as Aramis sounds like a very interesting villain, something which has been missing from Destiny recently. The fallen race being scattered and reunited under this new House of Darkness does also sound really interesting as well. Aramis seeks revenge on us and the Traveler for when the Traveler originally abandoned the Fallen many years ago. The story will also contain another major character we haven't heard from in a very long time, the Exo Stranger. It's unclear exactly how she will tie in, but she is an Exo, and considering the Exo have ties to Europa and the Deepstone Crypt, I'm sure it will be very interesting to see how they tie her into the story. Honestly guys, I could not be more excited for the story portion of the fall expansion. Now let's talk about Europa. Europa has been teased at and been in concept art since Destiny 2013, and to finally see it realized this year with Beyond Light is very exciting. On Europa, we can expect to find it mostly a frozen wasteland, but it does look like there will be some pretty interesting places to visit, like another Golden Age Braytech facility, and various places beneath the surface of the ice. Deepstone Crypt being one of those places. Overall, Europa looks like a great destination that I can't wait to explore. It's a snowy wasteland, and snowy places just have a special place in my heart, so I cannot wait, guys. Next, it's time to talk about something long awaited in the Destiny community. Darkness subclasses. After all these years of speculation, we're finally going to be able to wield the darkness with what Bungie is calling Stasis. Stasis will be the new elemental type similar to Arc, Solar, and Void, and Titans, Hunters, and Warlocks will have their own Stasis super that is fully customizable. Yes, these new subclasses won't be locked to separate paths like the Arc, Solar, and Void subclasses. Instead, Bungie is finally allowing us to fully customize our subclasses with the Darkness supers. That alone already makes me excited to try these out, and also, I can't deny that these supers look completely badass.
Together. I will give these guardians the destruction they crave.
Bungie then lets us know that there will be plenty of exotic weapons and armor to be found on Europa, and I really hope that they're tied to great quests or obtained in interesting ways other than recent exotic quests in the game. And then Bungie tells us a tiny bit about the raid, the Deepstone Crypt raid. Below the frozen tundra of Europa lies the Deepstone Crypt, and for decades it has remained dormant. Your fire team cautiously approaches, weapons raised, and the final plan is set in motion. Now if you're familiar with the lore of Destiny, then you know that the Deepstone Crypt is where the first Exo was born. Most information about the crypt comes from a dream that many Exos experience, and in the dream, a tower lies on a black plain. Some make it to this tower in peace, while others are forced to slay an army of everyone they have ever met in order to reach it. And Cade 6 actually recalled these events and spoke about going to an icy moon in a book that you could acquire from the Taken King Collector's Edition back in 2015. To have a raid set in the Deepstone Crypt is probably going to be one of the coolest locations for a raid, and I'm very excited to see exactly what's going to happen in the Deepstone Crypt, so can't wait for that. Europa and the Deepstone Crypt both sound like great locations containing some really cool secrets and additions to the lore, and many have awaited a long time to hear more about both of these places. But this isn't all we're getting in Beyond Light. Bungie is also bringing back the original Cosmodrome from Destiny 1, as well as the 3 strikes that they had, including Sepix Prime. Honestly, this was a complete surprise and a very welcome one to me personally because I absolutely love the Cosmodrome from Destiny 1. While the Moon reskin in Shadowkeep was poorly done in my opinion and was the entirety of the expansion, the Cosmodrome will instead be launching alongside the already brand new area, Europa. If Bungie is going to bring back more areas like this in the future, this is the way to do it, alongside another brand new area. Hopefully they don't manage to screw up anything with the original Cosmodrome or the strikes though, because I don't think that would go over too well for them. Speaking of bringing things back, Bungie has said this idea of content cycling will continue, citing what they're calling the Destiny Content Vault. Throughout the next few years, Bungie will be taking a few things away from Destiny 2, like certain planets, raids, or other activities, and then cycling in old stuff like the old Cosmodrome, and even the Vault of Glass raid. Yes, the Vault of Glass raid is confirmed to be returning from Destiny 1 and put into Destiny 2 with, I imagine, a few changes. Right now it looks like once Beyond Light launches in September, Mars, Titan, and Io will no longer be available, and Mercury also appears to be missing as well. This is an interesting way to reskin content that I'm not totally sold on quite yet, although I am happy to see the old Cosmodrome and the Vault of Glass, but I think this could easily backfire because they are removing a significant amount of content, many strikes, 4 raids, and 4 destinations, and that is a lot of content to leave the game. This just means that whatever replaces it has to be massive to justify the departure of so much content. Again, I really think this could easily backfire for Bungie because in the eyes of many, I imagine this is going to cause them to retaliate because they're removing content they've already paid for. Also, it begs the question, what does this mean for people who don't buy Beyond Light? Are they going to get completely screwed because they don't gain anything and they're just going to lose a bunch of planets and content? Bungie has to answer these questions because right now they're walking a very thin layer of ice, and hopefully they can pull it off, or else the community will definitely let Bungie know exactly how they screwed up. Overall though guys, my thoughts on this fall expansion were initially pretty high excitement, but after that initial reveal and the few trailers, I made sure to temper my expectations and be a little bit wary of what exactly is coming. This is Bungie after all, and they're masters of hype, but the delivery doesn't always live up to that hype. Some things still worry me about their decisions for the game, one of those decisions being their love for champions. Luke Smith talked about adding barrier and overload champions to the Vault of Glass, which was an immediate turnoff, and I pray they don't actually do that because, in my opinion, that will be the quickest way to ruin the Vault of Glass raid. I don't want to play the Vault of Glass with a sidearm or a bow just because that's the only way to deal with barrier hobgoblins or something. Beyond Light story content is really where the interest is for me, and also Europa because I think Europa looks absolutely amazing. Also, I'm happy to see the Cosmodrome's return, it's very welcome in my eyes, but again, it is just another thing brought back from Destiny 1. Again guys, I just want to reiterate that I think this expansion has to be massive to justify removing so much content from the game. I still can't see this panning out too well unless Bungie truly blows every single person away and does some things for the people who don't actually buy the expansion. I am genuinely excited and I can't deny that they've got my attention, but I have tried to ease back that excitement so I don't get burned again. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and thank you so much for watching. I will see you all in my next video.
This is what I brought you here to see.